Understanding just compensation, an in-depth look. Just compensation is a critical legal concept rooted in the Fifth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. It pertains to the compensation individuals receive and their property is seized by the government for public use, a process known as eminent domain. This article delves into the nuances of just compensation, its determination, and the implications for property owners affected by this legal action. Key takeaways. Definition: just compensation is the payment made to property owners when their property is taken by the government. Legal framework: it is governed by the Takings Clause of the Fifth Amendment. Valuation challenges: determining fair market value can be complex, sparking disputes over whether the compensation is indeed just. Valuation methods: common methodologies include market approach, income approach, and cost approach. What is just compensation? Just compensation is a remedy established to ensure that individuals whose property is taken for public use are treated fairly. This concept emerged significantly during extensive public infrastructure projects, like the construction of the interstate highway system in the 1950s, where homes were often seized to make way for new roads. The Fifth Amendment stipulates that private property shall not be taken for public use without just compensation. However, there can be a disconnect between what the government offers as fair market value and the subjective perception of property owners who experience significant emotional and social loss due to property seizure. The mechanism of eminent domain. Eminent domain gives the government the authority to seize private property for public use, which can include projects like highways, schools, and parks. While it serves the public interest, the concept raises ethical and logistical questions about what constitutes just compensation. For many owners, compensation may not account for factors like emotional ties, community connections, and the stress of relocation. Factors considered in just compensation. 1. Fair market value of land. The price a willing seller could expect to receive in an open market is a primary consideration. For instance, if a piece of land was sold through competitive bidding, that auction price is often considered the fair market value. 2. Fair market value of land improvements. Improvements such as buildings, fences, and landscaping enhance a property's value and should be factored into compensation. Additionally, intangible improvements, like a favorable location near resources, can influence land value. 3. Residue damage. If only a portion of a property is taken, residue damage covers the deterioration of the remaining land's value. This can occur if the seized portion was strategically vital, altering the land's usability or aesthetic appeal. 4. Potential benefits. Notably, landowners might find themselves in a better position after a partial seizure, especially if it opens up new development opportunities. For example, the seizure of a section of land for a new access road might enhance the overall value of the remaining land. Methods for property valuation. Determining just compensation involves various methods of property valuation. Here are the three primary approaches. 1. Market approach. This method compares the seized property to recent, similar property sales. It is particularly effective for residential properties and helps establish a baseline for fair compensation. 2. Income approach. Most suitable for income-generating properties, such as apartments or commercial units, this method calculates the property's value based on its income performance. It requires determining the operating income and applying a capitalization rate to ascertain the property's value. 3. Cost approach. This method is used for unique properties where comparison sales may not be available or are inadequate. The cost approach assesses the value of the land plus the cost to reproduce any unique buildings on the property, accounting for depreciation. This is particularly relevant for specialized structures that possess their own intrinsic value. The path forward. Disputes over just compensation are common, and property owners often feel that the compensation awarded does not reflect the totality of their loss. While the market value may provide a numerical figure, it fails to encompass the emotional impact and community ties that owning property can signify. As urban development continues to advance, the application of just compensation remains a vital area of legal consideration that balances the rights of property owners against the government's need to serve the public good. Understanding the layers of just compensation not only informs property owners of their rights but also serves as a reminder of the delicate balance between public interest and private ownership.